from beautiful South Florida. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida as a moment ago the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. On 1st and 10, Herbert. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And this one is incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Herbert's throw, it's complete into the hands of Higbee. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. But Justin Herbert looking comfortable here in season number 2. He looked comfortable in season number 1 for that matter. But what's the game plan for defending and trying to limit him?
Oh, you've asked a really difficult question there because you're right. Year 1, he looked like a 5-7-year veteran, and he's only going to continue to get better. But with a guy who throws such a pretty ball and has such a great arm, throwing the long ball has got to be a blast for him. He wants to push the ball downfield. Doesn't mean he can't make all the other throws, but I want to take those away first and make him beat me by being accurate and dinking and dunking all the way downfield. Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. He'll find the Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Dante Hightower on the stop.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
54, right there, 54 miles.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Herbert. Well, it's caught on the right side of Smith. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Herbert. The quick slant caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. Fournette. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Prater for the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. faking the give. Now Watson. They'll roll him out right. And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins.
Let's be frank, you hate the fumble at the end of the play. But prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline.
Step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
Well, defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Herbert. And this one complete to Smith. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Throw left side complete to Chase. That catch good for only a couple.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Herbert back to the air. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Prater's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here, and it adds to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-zip.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And he'll just get rid of it.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Ten 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Leonard Fournette with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. So, Charles, you look at this offense, so what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Chase Young able to finally wrestle him down for what's just going to be a huge loss, and it takes us to 4th down as well. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal on their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Fournette running out of the gun. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold on for long because he just touchdown.
Jamar Chase, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the
of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Prater for the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And you figure this should be a healthy, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He'll buy some time right. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now a 1st down throw. Watson to Mixon on the check down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Watson off play action. Rolling to his right. Dumps it off to Mixon. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Watson on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he'll wind up getting about 6 out of that, as that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Now it's Watson. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 14. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Watson looks to throw again. Touchdown, Falcons. DK Metcalf. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for 2. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football. That deficit stays right where it is. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. By rule, that comes out to the 40-yard line, so good opportunity for this offense with solid field position. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Herbert. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He will find his man Chase complete. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. Herbert operating from the red zone. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the 1st half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyler Lockett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half. They wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Extra point good by Prater. And the rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play there just before halftime.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
On first down, it's Watson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Flushed out right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Watson. Catch is made by Metcalf. Touchdown, Falcons. DK Metcalf. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll look to throw. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw taken in by Pringle. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. From his goal line here, Watson sliding out of the pocket. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They're going for it. It's Watson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And incomplete on the deep ball. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. And the failure on 4th down on the other side leads immediately to a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, here's Herbert.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Herbert has it knocked free.
And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for it.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off.
And now Watson throws another interception.
Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it.
Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes you're fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert airing it out deep for Smith. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Devontae Smith, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Dolphins offense cashes in with 6. Now Prater to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Chase Young picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We've still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. It's a big play there for Atlanta. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. DK Metcalf, 46 yards. And the Falcons cut into that lead. The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They attempted to fade to the back corner of the end zone unsuccessfully. And I've been with you long enough, Brandon. I know it's not one of your favorite calls.
Well, it's interesting. Before working with you, I always viewed that as you're just taking away space and you're trapping yourself in a corner. But you actually have told me they're trying to create space where space is not.
Yeah, it's really it's a weird deal, isn't it? But you've got to just move that defender inside to create that separation and that little bit of space where there just isn't much.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here. One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. In this case, he picks up a first down.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Herbert. Got a man open, it's Chase. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
This is caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jamar Chase with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Dolphins look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Prater for the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Watson.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts.
And it's a fumble. On first down, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line. They'll roll him out right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how this to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Again, it's Watson. That's caught. And he'll get in. And they're going to draw themselves 2 points closer. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 47 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And the pick 6 we just saw makes things a little more interesting. Still, though, a 2-possession game as they control their destiny in this 4th quarter. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
55 mark, 55. Here we go.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive.
And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. It's a big play there for Atlanta. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Watson's throw here taken in by Knox.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. He'll buy some time right. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll try and run some clock with Fournette. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Herbert now to throw. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40.
57 yards on the ground for him so far.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Second down, back to Fournette.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Miami, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they taste defeat for the first time this season as they drop to 5-1. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.